Hello, fellow explorers. We're about to go on an incredible expedition to some of the most amazing places you've ever seen, right here on our planet.
Our big adventure starts right now, and we have a very important question we need to investigate together.
We're going to find out how animals live in places that are super wet, super deep, super hot, and even super cold. So let's dive in. Whoa, here we are. Our first stop is the rainforest. It's this amazing world filled with giant, towering trees. You can feel it, right? The air is all damp and misty. It rains here a lot.
Okay, look up, way up. So much of what's going on here with animals like monkeys and sloths is happening high above our heads in that big leafy roof they call the canopy.
Take a look at the leaves all around us. Do you notice anything about their shape? A lot of them have these little pointy tips. I wonder why they might be shaped just like that.
This place is just buzzing with life, isn't it? There are colorful birds and quiet little frogs hiding everywhere. But in a place so busy, how does everyone find what they need to eat?
All right, it's time to leave the forest and head out onto the big blue ocean. And let me tell you, it is so much bigger than it looks. Get this, oceans just like this one cover more than 70% of our entire planet. Can you believe that? That's a lot of water. Right up here, near the top where it's sunny, you can see all sorts of amazing animals. Look, there are dolphins and turtles swimming around where the sunlight shines right through the water. But what about down there? Way, way down where the sun can't shine anymore? It's like a totally different world in that deep, dark water.
It's so dark down there. You'd think it would be impossible to see anything. And yet, some creatures that live this deep can actually make their own light. Wow, how do you think they do that?
Okay, let's warm up a bit. Our next adventure takes us to the desert. And wow, you can really feel the heat. The sun here makes the air feel just like a giant oven. Look around. There's not a lot of water here, is there? It's mostly sand and rocks. Everything feels so dry. It really makes you wonder, how does anything live in a place like this? You know, when that hot sun finally goes down, the whole desert starts to cool off. And that's when you start to see animals, like this desert fox, finally come out to play and hunt. Look at those big ears. And I bet some animals find ways to hide from the sun underground. What other clever tricks do you think desert animals have to beat the heat? Ready for a big change? We're going from one of the hottest places on Earth to one of the coldest. Welcome to the tundra. For most of the year, this whole place is covered in snow and ice. Brr, you'd have to be a special kind of animal to live here, right? With that chilly wind and all this frozen ground. Look at these caribou. They must be really tough. Wow, look at the beautiful, thick, white coat on this Arctic fox. It looks so fluffy. Why do you think so many of the animals here have such thick fur? You know, all this ice and snow is super important for animals like the polar bear. This is their home. So what do you think might happen if their home starts to get warmer? Okay, let's take a second and think back on our whole journey. We've been to so many different worlds. Which one do you remember being the wettest? And what about the coldest? Which world had all that ice and snow? They're all so different, but every single one was just full of life. You know, sometimes these special homes for animals are changing. The forests might get a little smaller, or things that don't belong there can end up in the ocean. Why do you think that happens? We have seen so much on our big expedition. And now, guess what? You're an explorer too. And being an explorer means you get to keep asking questions and learning all about our amazing planet. And that brings us to the most important question of all. Now that you're an explorer, how can you help protect our incredible planet and all the animals that call it home? Keep exploring.